Hello everybody, it's Joe here and welcome back to another episode of Train Simulator Classic. Today we are on an 802, we're on another 802. Last time in the live stream we were on a Hull Trains 802 and today we're on a Transpennine Express 802. We're at Manchester, Victoria and we're going to be heading over to Liverpool today via the Alan Thompson sim Chat Moss. Now this is a scenario by the wonderful Magictoad who did join me on the live stream. Now as far as I'm aware this isn't released yet via his website, however this is being recorded a little bit in advance. So by the time the video goes out, it might well be released, and if you want to play that scenario too, you can check the link out in the description when it's here. But here we go, we are 9 Mike 15, 1723 Manchester, Victoria to Liverpool, Lime Street. Due to ongoing TRU, Transpennine route upgrade engineering works, TPE are running a reduced service. As a result, Liverpool to Newcastle services are starting and terminating at Manchester, Victoria to still ensure a resilient service to support the weekend's festivities. Taking 802 to Liverpool Lime Street on this damp May evening, calling at Newton-le-Willows and Lea Green en route. It's Sunday, so traffic is light. I'm not entirely sure he means that. Does he mean that? So are they? Oh, it's just Manchester, Victoria to Liverpool Lime Street. It's not running through to Newcastle, or it's not come from Newcastle. Is that right? I didn't realise they were doing that over the weekend. I mean, this is the Eurovision final. Oh no, sorry, it's not. It's the Sunday. So the Eurovision final was last night, even though it wasn't last night because, I mean, it was just over a week ago now when I'm recording this. But yeah, in the game time, it was last night. So we've got the weekend festivities. There'll be lots of people travelling home. So naturally, we're doing the quieter leg of the journey from Manchester to Liverpool. Now, with it being a Sunday, obviously there's not going to be quite as much scenery in terms of the stock that you see. But I have driven this already, and there does seem to be quite a few trains loitering about, so there is still plenty to see. It's just perhaps not as densely packed. For instance, the Transpennine's Liverpool to Hull services are not running, so you won't see 185s on this today, which is a bit of a shame because we do love the 185. It's a fantastic diesel multiple unit, but hey ho, we also love the 802. I think this is a cracking train, and I really enjoy driving it. I'm not too keen on them in real life. I think the seats are a little bit hard for my liking. It just gives me a little bit of backache, but that's just me personally. Magictoad has also set it up. I mean, as soon as the doors are shut, we'll get the buzz, but we will get a little RA. Look at that, little RA. Oh, the flipping guard. They always buzz here. Shouldn't buzz. It's an RA station. I don't know if there's a way to turn that off, to be honest with you, so that the guard doesn't buzz. There's probably a way you can do it, but as far as I'm aware, there isn't. It'd be great if you could, though, wouldn't it? But yes, we've got the RA, so it's full steam ahead through to Liverpool. And it's a bit wet and miserable, isn't it? Look at that. Flipping it. Right, let's get those... there we go. Bit of wipage. Put the driver vigilance device on, because obviously we're doing it properly, aren't we? There we go. Let's have a... should we have a nice little... Look at that. Do love a train sim screenshot. Coming out of Manchester, look at that. Very nice indeed. I mean, it's a good-looking train. Love them or hate them, they are a good-looking intercity train, aren't they? Hang on a second. I wanted like a that. Ooh, yeah, nice. There we go. Right, stop looking outside the train now and start zooming inside the train. Now, obviously, this is using the Armstrong Powerhouse Enhancement Pack, which I encourage you to go and purchase if you've got some money to spend and you love the IET, Intercity Express train. It is really, really good. This thing from Dovetail is practically undrivable. I mean, it is not bad, to be fair, but it's not the best, whereas with the Armstrong Powerhouse Enhancement Pack, it really does bring this thing to life. It's definitely a necessity if you are a lover of this train. We've got Salford Central on the right-hand side there. It's a station you will only call at if you're going round to the right, which is up to Salford Crescent. However, we're going round to the left. We're sort of going straight on, because you can see the line bends round again to the right there. So we're sort of, as the crow flies, we'd just go through that building. And we've got the infamous Odsal Chord just on the left here. Now, that's not actually been here that long in the grand scheme of things, because all of the Manchester to the airport and Middlesbrough and Newcastle services used to go via Piccadilly, but obviously since 2018 they've gone through Victoria, round to Piccadilly. That's where you go if you turn left there. It is quite a slow little trundle, isn't it, out of Manchester Victoria? You'd think if they'd have gone back in the day when they constructed the railway, if they'd have gone as the crow flies, this would have been like a whoosh, straight off, whizzing along sort of route. And then here we are, the right here. If you turn right, you end up going up to Salford Crescent as well. So this is if you were going from Piccadilly to Salford Crescent. And those lines join on just sort of over here on your right-hand side. Oh, hang on, we need to speed up now. There we go. Come on, focus. I know you're enjoying giving everybody a geography lesson, but focus on the task in hand. Got a 319 on the right there. Is it a 319? It is. I'm never too sure whether it's a 319 or a 769. It's so difficult to tell the difference, isn't it? Right, 75, and that's practically us until Astley level crossing. It's quite a straight route, the Alan Thompson Sim Chat Moss. Well, I mean the Chat Moss route, not just the Alan Thompson Sim version. The Chat Moss route in general is quite a straight route. There's not an awful lot of curves on it. It really is surprising that it's not a higher line speed down here, to be honest with you, because, I mean, like I say, it's pretty much straight track. I know that some parts it is quite bumpy. I think, is it the Mancunian Way, that one? I can never remember. But it's quite nice when it's, I say this every time we drive down here, but when that's absolutely gridlocked and you come flying past on a train, it's lovely. You're looking out the window, you're sat down in standard or first class, and you're just looking at all these people queuing in traffic going home. You think, oh, we're blasting along. Absolutely blasting along. I must also point out that that this is using a real-life timetable. It's the timetable from the Sunday the 14th? I'm going to go with Sunday the 14th, although I might need to check my calendar. Sunday the 14th. Let's have a look. Let's have a look in the old calendar. Oh. Yeah, Sunday the 14th. So it's a working timetable from Sunday the 14th. So if anything is cancelled, it won't appear. So yeah, you might think, hang on a second, we should have passed that. Or we should have passed a 319, we should have passed a 175, for instance. Well, if it was cancelled on the day, we're not going to see it. I know, shocking. But I guess that's what I like. All of the Magictoad scenarios are done to a working timetable, so, you know, it's very accurate. It's like it's as close to the real thing as you're going to get. Got the Eccles signal box on the left-hand side there, followed by Eccles Station. It does feel really slow, doesn't it? It doesn't feel this slow in real life. But yeah, I think the 802 as well, you are sat a little bit higher, aren't you, in the driver's seat? A little bit like a Voyager, for instance. You're a little bit higher, so it does feel like quite a slow little trundle. If you're in a little 150, for example, you feel like you were racing along down here, absolutely going like the clappers. But yeah, you don't get that same sensation on an 802 with you being higher up. Not looked, actually. Where are we calling today? We are calling at Newton-le-Willows, Lea Green and Liverpool Lime Street. That's good. So it's an all stops in inverted commas service for Transpennine Express there, because these are all the stops that Transpennine stop at down the Chat Moss line. There were a couple of people as well that were watching the stream that were saying that the live stream wasn't quite as good quality as our usual videos. And yes, I apologise for that. The live stream, when it comes to streaming, I always stream in 1080p, just because I don't want to set fire to my internet router downstairs. I don't want to stream in too high a quality and then it not be able to cope and the stream not work and misery, and you know, I think that was the M60 we've just gone over. But yeah, so I always stream at 1080p, whereas when I record these videos I always record them at 2K, so that's why the majority of my other train sim videos will be a little bit sharper, a little bit clearer, but yeah, it's unfortunately one of these things. I might, next time we come to upgrade the internet, I might go for a better package that would allow me to stream to 2K, maybe even 4K. Wouldn't that be nice? I mean, to be fair, 2K is pretty sharp. Do we need to record in 4K? I mean, the problem with 4K is, you know, it's brilliant, but it just means that the uploads take so much longer. And is it worth the extra upload time in exchange for the quality? I don't know. But yeah, it would be brilliant, wouldn't it? Ooh, there's something coming the other way here. What is it? Some sort of northern contraption? Ooh, no, that's a 175, isn't it? Every day of the week, zooming in. Zooming in. When I say zooming in, what I mean is moving my head closer to the monitor so I can see better. Give him a little wave. Do love a 175. I know they're a little bit Marmite, aren't they? Some people love them, some people hate them. See, this is what I mean. It's a perfectly straight route. It just seems really bizarre that you can't do 90. I mean, this sort of doesn't do it justice either. The you know, you're bouncing about a lot more in real life, so maybe that's why you can't do 90. But in Train Sim, it's a perfectly sort of high-speed, flat route, isn't it? Right, so we need to slow down to 60 for the Astley level crossing. There we go. We'll just knock the speed set down. It's easier than moving the lever, isn't it? Round the slight curve there. Has to be said, to give the chaps over at Alan Thompson Sim their dues, this is an absolutely fantastic route, isn't it? I know that it's quite straight, but if you look at the scenery, the attention to detail is fantastic. I really do enjoy driving this, and I don't know why I don't drive it more often. I'm hoping that obviously they did, like, you know how they did an East Coast. Ooh, what's this? Ah, there we go, look, Class 47 by the looks of things, West Coast Railways. Guarded by the lovely Harry today, with a couple of Anglia coaches, a couple of BR Blue coaches as well. That was running up and down between Manchester Piccadilly and Liverpool Lime Street to provide much needed relief to the local services, like the regular timetable trains. For any Eurovision supporters that were travelling to Manchester, obviously these services were likely to be very busy, so West Coast Railways very kindly put on some additional services. So that's what that was. And a good friend of mine, Harry, was the guard. He seemed to be enjoying himself. Little smile on his face, hanging out the window of the Mark II, arriving into Piccadilly. Quite a good thing as well with this scenario is because we're using the AP Sky and Weather Enhancement Pack. You do find that because it's variable rain, it will be different every single time you drive this scenario. The weather will be different. I know that last time I managed, it was quite a sunny evening, like sunny but overcast, and we got all the way to Newton-le-Willows, and just after Newton-le-Willows it started drizzling, and then it perked up again and a little bit more drizzle. This is just heavy rain, isn't it, the whole way? So it's quite nice that by using the Armstrong Powerhouse Weather Enhancement Pack, you do get that sort of variation in your scenery. It's not always the same, which is nice, isn't it? Yeah, I think I'd probably drive this Chatmoss route more if they did. You know, like we've got the East Coast Main Line merge, where it's Leeds lines, and then you've got Doncaster to Peterborough, and then the East Coast Main Line south. They've merged the routes together, haven't they? To give you a little bit more to play with. I'm really, really hoping that they'll do something like that for this, where you'll be able to go on the Chatmoss from Liverpool to Manchester Victoria, and then the Huddersfield lines from Manchester Victoria to Leeds, and then Leeds to York, and then York to Newcastle. That'd be fantastic, wouldn't it? Especially if they did the, is it DPS? DP simulations, I think it is, that goes from, so you'd be able to go up to Middlesbrough as well. And if they added Pennine Pace's little Piccadilly bit on there, as well as this, well, I mean, this Chatmoss route has got Piccadilly, hasn't it? If they used Pennine Pace's Guide Bridge bit, you'd literally have the entire Trans-Pennine network from York West. That'd be awesome. Then all we'd be missing would be Hull and Scarborough. I'm surprised nobody's done the whole route, to be honest with you. It's quite a straight route. It's very much like this in a way, very, very straight. And the Scarborough line's very interesting. There's lots of curves, lots of pretty scenery to see. It is nice, the Scarborough line. But yeah, could you imagine if we could hop in an 802 and do the entire 3.5-hour run from Liverpool up to Newcastle? How cool would that be? I'd love it. Obviously, it's quite a long way though, isn't it? So I don't know if Train Sim would allow it, or if you just get temp dump, temp dump, temp dump. You know how it is. How well was the stream going until just south of Retford when it crashed? No, just north of Retford. I think we had to restart in Doncaster, didn't we? And then obviously, if you were watching the stream, we crashed into the back of a 387. Do you know what? It's stumped us both. Neither of us have any idea why that 387 was stopped there. Why the signal was green, why the 387 didn't move, because we respawned, and we should have respawned in the stream actually, but we respawned at Grantham and drove south. No, we didn't, because I saved at Stevenage, didn't I? We respawned at Stevenage and drove south, and it wasn't there. It worked perfectly fine. We drove all the way into London without without a hitch. Very, very bizarre. Yeah, it was a real shame that we didn't get all the way to London, but hey-ho. We'll have another go at some point, I'm sure. Maybe we'll be driving an HST, maybe a 91. Have another go at driving something all the way to London, because that was an absolutely awesome stream, wasn't it? Really enjoyed myself. And I hope you guys did as well. And if you didn't manage to catch the stream, you're not quite sure what I'm on about, it's the... we need to get some braking in here. Do you know? Selective door opening, let's have a bit of that. Yeah, it's the Selby to London King's Cross in an 802. Hull Trains. Hull Trains it is. Here we go. Please move forward if you wish to leave the train at the next station. We should also have a little Magictoad and Dan stood here on the corner, because if you look at his video, he was actually stood at Newton-le-Willows and he filmed this very train coming into Newton-le-Willows and stopping. There we go, into neutral. Oh, look at that. Oh, it does look good, doesn't it? It's such a good looking train. There we go, we'll have a bit of that. Has that done a screenshot? I think it has. Yeah, there's a link in the description to Magictoad's video. It's really, really good. He did a little bit of spotting whilst he was out and about. He was stood about here, I think, maybe, taking a video of it coming in. And I believe it will have been 802.206. He's a stickler for getting his unit numbers right. So yeah, it will have been 802.206. Should we just turn the... can we turn the wipers down? I'm taking Mickey out. Shift and W. Shift and V. Don't need it quite as often, do we now? Might need it a little bit more often than this. I think that might be the happy medium. Yeah, that's about right, isn't it? Rightio, so we're due out at 1740. And then it's next stop Lea Green. Yeah, if you look at the attention to detail and the scenery around here, it's absolutely brilliant. The station looks cracking, doesn't it, to be fair? And the gap between the train and the platform edge is reasonably good. Some of the Alan Thompson Sims routes, it's a short bus transfer from the train to the to the platform. I know on the I don't know if they've fixed it now. It's been such a long time since I've driven it. But if you remember the original version of the West Coast Main Line missing link, Christ, was it Warrington Bank Quay or was it Crewe? I think it was Warrington Bank Quay. God, it was miles away, wasn't it? You could have packed another Pendolino in between. But yeah, it's good to see with the Chat Moss. The platform gaps are pretty decent. Are we ready? Come on, guard. Oh, hang on, it stopped raining. Right, get the windscreen wipers off. There we go. God, it might be sunny for our arrival into Liverpool. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? There we go. Oh, we've got some action. Got some door closing action. Off we go. Quick on the buzzer there. Well, we've got a train service to run, haven't we? And the little clicking noises of the door seals sealing themselves. Goes with the right bang if you stood in the vestibule. It makes you jump. Ah, it's raining again. Goodness me. There you go. Should we have it on 5? See what 5 does. Nothing by the look of things. Should we try 10? With a bit of 10. That should be fine. I don't know what the 10 means. Is that 10 wipes a minute? 1 every 6 seconds? I haven't a clue. Another 802 going the other way. Hello? Ah, yeah. I don't know if you caught that. You could go back and pause, but it does say Manchester Victoria on the screens there. So, yeah, they must be operating little shuttles. And then for anyone going to Leeds, I guess you could change onto a Saltburn. Were the Saltburns running? Maybe the Hulls? I'm not too sure. Earls Town just there, joining on, so we get some services from Warrington going to Liverpool up here. Next stop, Lea Green. How far have we got? Just over 3 miles. Yeah, they're quite close together, aren't they, Lea Green and Newton-le-Willows? Obviously, at one time, the services didn't stop at both of these, and I think during the week, it's gone back to how it used to be. COVID threw a huge spanner in the works, so originally when Transpennine Express started running via the Chat Moss instead of via Warrington back in 2018. Because if you remember, before 2018, the Newcastles used to come down here, but they'd go Manchester Victoria, next stop Liverpool. That was that. They didn't stop anywhere in between. Whereas then in 2018, when the Scarborough services started running down here as well, they started stopping at Lea Green, and the Newcastles started stopping at Newton-le-Willows. But then when COVID hit, it threw a spanner in the works because there wasn't the need for all the trains down here. So the Newcastles picked up both. I mean, there were a thing where they did like every other hour. So like the even hours would be Newcastles, the odd hours would be Scarboroughs, and the Newcastles became every 2 hours in COVID. And then since then, it's been pretty much the Liverpool Lime Streets are 1 hour. And they stop at Newton-le-Willows and Lime Street. I think that's what happens on a Sunday. But then from December 2022, what year are we in? Yeah, December 2022, St Helens Junction there, give them a wave. From December 2022, the Hulls don't go to Piccadilly anymore via Guide they now go down this route and stop at, they picked, like they are in the path of what the Scarborough was, if you see what I mean. So it's a very bizarre timetable. I find it very difficult to get my head round. It's like nothing we've ever seen before. But yeah, so the Hulls now stop at Lea Green and Lime Street, and the Newcastles have gone back to Newton-le-Willows and Lime Street, if you see what I mean. And then on Sundays, they seem to just back it up. Obviously, there's a lot of engineering work on a Sunday at the moment, so there's not like a consistent timetable. It's different every week, depending where the engineering work is. 46 in and out of Lea Green. Look at that, 25 hitting the platform. Might Just take the braking off a little bit. Oh no, that wasn't a good idea, was it? You'd have been fine just leaving it where it was. Got the purple stop for 5 and 6 car boards there. That'll do. I mean, obviously, are we? I think we're pretty good for the stop board there, aren't we? Yeah, that'll do. We'll buy the stop board. This door won't open because obviously it's train sim, so it thinks we're off the platform. But if we whiz down to the back there, I'm in first class. That's not a crew door. No, that's not a passenger door anyway. So you'd actually, if first class is at the back, you fit everything on the platform anyway. So yeah, no need to move forward, people. But this is train sim, and train sim likes to do its own thing. Obviously, if first class was at the front, the crew door would be on the platform, and this back passenger door would be hanging off the platform, so you'd have to move forward. Right, so after here, it's right away Lime Street, isn't it? What time do we get there? Roughly 18:01. So it's about 15 minutes to go yet. That's not bad, actually, because it makes the video about 40 minutes in length, which is an acceptable train journey, isn't it? Yeah, I am hoping they release a merge of this. That'd be awesome. I do want to get my paws on a 185, like on a Liverpool to Newcastle. That'd be awesome. Back in the dynamic lines days. Oh, lovely. Now we're talking. Full steam ahead. Let's go. Rubber seals going. Oh, a bit of wheel slip, goodness me. We'll leave it in 100%, it'll be fine. Can't see anything wrong with that, can you? Right, up to 90 mile an hour. That'll do. Love a bit of 90. I still think they could do 100 down here. I reckon we could do 100 in this, and it wouldn't come flying off. Especially in those little 75 bits. Imagine how faster it would be between Manchester and Liverpool if you could blast along at 100. And obviously the 185s would be able to keep time with that as well, because they could do 100. Coming up to Rain Hill Station, I think that's the next one. Obviously we don't stop there, but no, I thought that was, but it's a little bit further down. Evidently. Yeah, Rain Hill's on a little bit of a right-hand bend. It's not a straight platform. It's marginally curved. It's not like Shipley, where it's a massively curved platform. There you go. Little 319 in the platform as well. Give them a wave. This is testing my knowledge of the route today. I think the next one's Whiston. For those of you saying, oh, well, he's probably got it on a piece of paper in front of him. Not true. Not true. There you go, Whiston Station there. Straight through. Doesn't look to be anything to report there, although I do like that little, is it a ticket office style building on the left hand side there? That was very nice. Blasting along. We actually get to Liverpool really, really quickly on this. The problem is that from just before Edge Hill Station, it's 30, and it's 30 all the way into Lime Street. So for the last mile and a half, I'd say, maybe a little bit longer, but for the last couple of miles, it's just 30 mile an hour the whole way. It's really, really slow plod into Liverpool. when you're nearly there. So, tracks should go to 4 track in a moment, and we should join the line that comes from Wigan. And that will be the station of Huyton. What have we got here? Some sort of... Oh, it's a 323. Lovely. Oh, he's obviously come from Wigan. Or maybe he's not come from Wigan. Maybe we're catching him up. I don't know, but... oh, lovely. That's nice. Give him a wave. It's always nice to see a bit of traffic that you go flying past, isn't it? He's got the yellow. There's Huyton Station. And then Roby, you can literally see one from the other. I don't know why they don't knock them both down and build one in the middle. So it should go back to 2 track, and then we go to a little place called Broad Green next, I think. Come on, let's be right. You can see on the little dash screen at the bottom there, it's going to drop down to 75 in a moment. I think that's just before Wavertree Technology Park, if memory serves me right. Is it 75 before or after? I can't remember. I'm sure it's just before. See, we're still blasting along at 90, and it's less than 3 miles to Liverpool, isn't it? There we go, we'll drop the speed set down. No need to brake, is there? I'm assuming if you drop the speed set, it's regen braking that brings you down. I don't know. I know they said when they released the pack that this isn't technically true to life how the speed set works. I think you've got to do a few other things that they couldn't replicate. So I don't know if you could just drop the speed set like that, or, you know, like by pressing the full stop key or the comma key. Yeah, obviously that's not correct, you idiot. But you know what I mean? It's one of them. I don't know if you can just turn the speed set up and down and the train sort of does it, like cruise control on a car. I'm not sure. There we go, we'll just knock that down to 30. Obviously I've taken it on idle because I'm going to do a bit of braking here just to get a nice smooth... I was going to say descent. There you go, there's Wavertree Technology Park with the massive lifts. Obviously the lifts go really, really high, don't they, to get over the electric wires. We might be going a little bit fast here. Should we have a bit more braking? I'm used to driving the 700 where you can just whack it into 50%, like half a mile, not even half a mile, like 30 metres from the stop board, and you'll stop. There we go, look at that. That's alright, bit of that. Speed set back on. Lovely. And yeah, so exactly 2 miles pretty much from Liverpool Lime Street. We are doing 30 miles an hour, and that's us practically for the rest of the way. We've got the Drax wagons in the yard on the right hand side, and if you look to the left here, you'll see the line from Liverpool South Parkway just join us. Nice of you to join us, sir. And yeah, that's practically it all the way into Lime Street. I'd love to know where these bits were meant to go. Obviously, I don't think they do anymore. No, obviously not if there's that much grass growing, but I'd love to know where they used to go. If anyone knows, do drop a comment. Got Edge Hill Station down here. Oh, and a 66 on the right there with somebody. What's he doing? Looking at it. Nah, definitely broken. Oh well. Ooh, East Midlands trains. Correction, East Midlands Railway. East Midlands Railway Class 158 there. And another 323 in the platform at Edge Hill. Lovely. Ah, you see, I said there wouldn't be that much trains and that much traffic. There's still plenty to see. It's what we like to see, isn't it? Oh, tunnels have just spawned in at Lime Street. And it's the long descent through the Liverpool tunnels here. Very, very imposing, aren't they, these tunnels? You feel very, very small, sort of travelling through here, like a little ant. But yeah, they're, I don't know if intimidating is the word, but you do feel really enclosed and claustrophobic, don't you? I mean, I'm not claustrophobic, personally. But, yeah, really, really, really. Like, underground. Well, I know we're underground. You can see we're underground, but... Right, here, single yellow, so we'll pop a bit of braking on. I think we're running a little bit early, aren't we, actually? 17:56 at this moment in time. We'll be getting in at 59. Oh, we appear to have a yellow. Must have changed it. Oh, we're going a little bit fast. Come on, drop that speed off. There we go. We're going into platform 3. I really do like it though, because this is really, really dark all the way in, and then all of a sudden the station at Liverpool is usually, I mean, providing the weather's alright, it's a very bright station at Liverpool. It's very nice. I really do like Liverpool Lime Street. And so you come out of all this darkness, and then all of a sudden it's awash with light. It's really, really nice. 175 there. Hello. Oh, hang on, 15. Where did it say that? I mean, I know it's 15 into Lime Street, but it never said that on the bottom bit. It was me ignoring the signs, too busy looking at the lovely station. But look, even on here you can see how bright it is. It's lovely. Very, very nice indeed. Right, well there we are. That is where we are going to finish for today. I do hope you've enjoyed that. It's been a nice little run, hasn't it, in the 802. If you have enjoyed the video, do let me know by leaving a like, and yeah, do comment if you've seen anything out of the ordinary, or indeed if there's any bits of route that I've got wrong that you wish to correct me on. If you know where that little bit goes, just outside Edge Hill there, please do let me know in the comments. And yeah, if you've enjoyed the video and you're enjoying my train sim content in general, please do make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss out on any future train sim episodes. Other than that, as I say, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you all next time. Cheerio! Goodbye for now.